SEC power rankings right now as we dive into that. Go ahead and give me your 16 through 10 or so, and I'll tell you if I have a major issue, and even Peyton Manning will chime in with.
Like, that is total bullshit.
All right, 16 through 10, Caleb, what do you got?
All right, number 16 is still Mississippi State. They're the worst team in the SEC, and I don't think anybody's going to debate that.
No, they're bad.
Number 15 is Kentucky. I'm going Kentucky. I don't care that they beat Murray State or whoever that was over the weekend. Like, Kentucky is a bad football team too.
No, Kentucky is bad. I still don't understand how they beat Ole Miss, other than just Ole Miss not showing up to play, which should work against them in the college football playoff selection process. Go ahead.
Number 14 is Auburn, who got a bad Group of 5 win over the weekend, but still not good. Number 13 is Oklahoma. Number 12 is Vanderbilt. Dave, LSU's down at number 11. And you can make a case for Vanderbilt ahead of them right now with the way they're playing.
No, they've got problems there, and it seems like they've got some chemistry issues that I thought Georgia might have, but now that's crept up in Baton Rouge. And you, at one point, if you didn't see the clip, guys.
Actually, I want to play this for you because I want to, as part of our SEC Power Rankings, I want to ask you a question after I play this clip. Is that fair?
Yep, bring it up. He essentially calls a player, one of his own players, uncoachable. That, to me, is that's a card.
I mean, Brian Kelly's had a bad habit of throwing players and staff under the bus when they don't go his way. But if you guys see, LSU player is walking to the sideline, and Brian Kelly lip reading. He says, "Don't walk away from me," and goes, "You are effing uncoachable." Yeah, okay. No, that's what he says.
Couple things on that. Listen, when somebody is having
he said it too.
When somebody's having a bad day, okay, that's not the time in the middle of the game to rip them. You remember that everybody used to hate Philip Fulmer's little clapping when things would go south? That's actually, if you look up psychology of people, that's the right way to do it. You get on top of them when things are going good, and then you don't drive them into the ground when they know things are going bad. I don't know the particular play that happened there, but evidently the young man didn't do something he was supposed to do. So what's worse, Caleb, publicly calling somebody an idiot, as Kirby Smart did, or in the middle of the game calling somebody uncoachable?
I think calling somebody uncoachable in the middle of the game, because we're seeing the results of this. Look, this is, guys, one of the reasons Brian Kelly doesn't have a national championship and that he's underachieved at LSU, Dave, is I don't think he's able to inspire his players to want to play for him, because he does stuff like, I mean, this is, and I get it. I've always been on the IQ thing. Y'all know how I am with coaches. And I thought Brian Kelly was a high IQ head coach. But there is the other side of that, of you're getting your players wanting to play for you. It's the other side of Ed Orgeron, who is a low IQ coach. But whatever you think of Ed Orgeron, players want to play for him, like they do. And
Ed too, to his extent, to defend him for a little bit, that was an incredibly brilliant staff in 2019. And we could argue he wasn't the smartest coach, but he was smart enough to say, guys, I'm turning this over. I talked to somebody before that year, and they said, listen, if he's willing to turn everything over, that this team's loaded and going to be really good. But they didn't believe he would do it, that he would get involved at some point. And he never did. So we got to give him. All he did
was rile the players up.
It is national championship winning head coach Ed Orgeron. And I know that still sounds bizarre. In the middle of defensive line drills, calling me out while I'm walking on the practice field.
Ed Orgeron and Steve Spurrier, only one of them has an undefeated season on their resume.
That's got to be a damn lie, Caleb. I mean, you've got to be lying. I mean, I know it's true, but somebody missed something in the record books. All
right? And so the reason I bring up that is I have to ask, with the LSU loss to Florida, is Brian Kelly's seat hotter than Billy Napier's now, after what we just talked about?
I think it's comparable. I think it's very comparable. No, a month ago, I would have said there's no way nobody could catch Billy Napier in hot seat SEC issues. Please click that thumbs up button, the like button. We appreciate that, and make sure you're subscribed. All right, who's next after LSU is plummeting like a rock?
All right, another one. So next, the number 11 coach on this list. Whose seat is hotter? Brian Kelly's, or since the Arkansas Razorbacks are number 11 on this list, Sam Pitman. Who do you think gets fired first, Dave?
Out of the three?
No, we'll get to Napier, but first, Kelly or Pitman?
Well, I just think it's stale at Arkansas. But I think both of them keep their jobs after this year.
But one of them's going to get fired eventually, right?
Well, then in that case, I would take who I think is the lesser coach between the two, and that is Sam Pitman.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Would you?
Yes, because, Dave, I thought about this with Brian Kelly over the weekend. Someone compared Brian Kelly's start at LSU to Nick Saban's, and it's actually comparable. Brian Kelly hasn't been any worse. And now you could say Nick Saban inherited a bigger mess. I actually say he walked into a good situation with just inheriting a sleeping giant. Honestly, it's not like he inherited a mess. But one of the things that's brought up is LSU is the weirdest program in football the last 25 years. It's consistent 3 and 4 loss seasons, and then out of the blue, they go win a national title.
One of the reasons I wouldn't make a change if I'm LSU, if I were 50-50 on that, is because there's not Nick Saban. Nick Saban, we talked about how the state of Louisiana is the toughest to get prospects out of that LSU wants. That's true, except for Nick Saban. He built such an incredible recruiting base there when he was LSU's head coach that he was able to go into the state of Louisiana and cherry pick some guys. So I think Brian Kelly benefits from Nick Saban not being there, and that's not why I would want to. This wouldn't be the time to me to blow things up and start all over. All right, who's next, Caleb?
Yeah, I agree. All right, so next, when we're sticking with the hot seat coaches, I have Florida at number 10. Florida's a different team with DJ Lagway at quarterback. They were putting it together before Tennessee hurt DJ Lagway, which is why Florida put up a game against Tennessee.
Hurt Graham Mertz?
Lagway. No, Lagway got hurt against Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, they both did, right?
Yeah. Well, Mertz finished the game, but Lagway's a better quarterback.
Yep, he is. It makes you wonder why he wasn't playing earlier.
Yeah, where were the details of that? Number 9 is Missouri. We all knew they were going to lose, but they put up a fight. They actually had a South Carolina beat, but they fell to number 9. They're a 3-loss team, and they deserve to be a 3-loss team. Number 8 is Texas A&M. Texas A&M closed out the year at Auburn and Texas at home, though. Dave, Texas A&M has an amazing chance. If Texas A&M wins their next 2 games, they're going to go to the SEC title, and they're probably in the college football playoff. So they have a lot.
But yet you have them at 8th.
Yes, they haven't played well. They had that blowout loss to South Carolina a couple of weeks ago. So again, this is the problem with the way the SEC set up. It's stupid. So much of it is based on how lucky your draw was on your schedule. It's a dumb system. So
right. Who's next, Caleb?
Number 7 is Dave. You're gonna hate it, but South Carolina. You have to acknowledge. I'm sorry. I believe I'm off. Florida's 9, Missouri's 8, Texas A&M is 7. I have A&M 7. Okay. So South Carolina is number 6. Dave, you got to give Shane Beamer some credit. South Carolina's playing really good football right now.
I give them a lot of credit. I'm waiting for the cheating scandal to break out.
They are a fluke play away from beating Alabama and being in the college football playoff race themselves.
All right, so do we get to Tennessee next? And we remind you that SEC Power Rankings today is brought to you by Dynasty Pools and Spas right off the Athens exit. Stop by and say hello. You'll get a free prize from Off the Hook Sports. And if you mention us, you get $500 off any spa in their inventory, which you can check out online. For Dynasty Pools and Spas, your home for the best spas and everything you need to jump right in. Relaxing, therapeutic, absolutely. But what sets Dynasty Pools and Spas apart from others is that you get everything with any spa purchase. You get the cover lift, the steps, delivery, and chemicals. When Dynasty Pools and Spas delivers your spa from their Athens location within 125 miles, you'll get your own personal hydrotherapy spa. Mention me, Dave Hooker, or Off the Hook Sports, and get $500 off your top quality new spa. Dynasty Pools and Spas, just off the Athens exit. Drop in and receive a free gift from Off the Hook Sports, Dynasty Pools and Spas. Mention Off the Hook Sports for a drop-in prize and that $500 discount, Dynasty Pools and Spas. To check out some of the Dynasty Spa models and to buy spa chemicals, go to dynastypoolsandspas.com. Dynasty Pools and Spas. Tennessee in the top 5. Who's next, Caleb?
Yeah, and unfortunately, guys, Tennessee's right at number 5. I can't put them higher right now. They're not playing better than the teams I'm about to name. Not only, I mean, let's just look at their last 3 games. Not only did they lose to Georgia, where they put up a fight, but they didn't blow out Mississippi State the way they should have. Now, they set on the lead in the second half. They could have, but they also looked really...
They lost Nico in the second half.
Yeah, but the week before that, they struggled to put away a Kentucky team that's kind of bad.
Yeah, I'm not debating with you on Mississippi State. To me, that's a bad football team that I take completely out of the equation, almost to the point of Kent State. When I'm looking at their resume, I almost take the Mississippi. I know it's an SEC game is the only reason I don't, but I almost take it completely off the table. All right, who's next?
I mean, you're not wrong, but yeah, it's okay. So number 4 is Alabama. They're number 4 right now, and they are playing very well. Number 3 is Georgia. Number 2 is Ole Miss, and number 1 is Texas. That's how I round out my top 4. Disagreement with any of those numbers?
Not really. Okay, of those in the top 4, who's most likely to lose before the end of the season?
Texas. They have to go to Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm. How do I think that Ole Miss has another bad Saturday in them?
Oh, they do. Don't sleep on Ole Miss against Florida this week. I don't think Lane Kiffin can get his kids to do a lot of things, Dave. You know what I'm not sure he can get his kids to do? Handle success. And you know that, by the way, because the Tennessee team you covered that had Lane Kiffin. Remember they played Alabama close, and then they go beat South Carolina, and everybody thinks they turned a corner? What happens? They go to Oxford, and they get draxed by Ole Miss, didn't they?
Yep, they did.
And so I don't know if Lane Kiffin is capable of teaching his kids to handle success. I think he gets as arrogant as they do, honestly.
Interesting that would filter down. Now, couldn't you say the same thing about Josh Heupel? Not the arrogance part of it, but that they don't handle success well. They didn't handle success well by beating Oklahoma and then went to Arkansas and got beat. They were on a little string there of beating Florida and Alabama, Mississippi State, Kentucky, and didn't handle success.
You're the one who says Heupel's a little cocky. It filters to the players.
It's pretty hot stuff right there.